TechInFive.
Python in practice, master real-world projects in 5 minutes. Install and use Jupyter Notebook in our machine learning Docker environment. Follow along for setup and tips. Welcome back to our series on mastering machine learning. Today, we're diving into one of the most essential tools in data science and machine learning, Jupyter Notebooks. Renowned for their versatility in code execution, visualization, and documentation, Jupyter Notebooks are indispensable for interactive development in both academic research and industry applications. In this tutorial, I'll guide you through installing Jupyter Notebook in our Docker environment, which already includes powerful libraries like scikit-learn, TensorFlow, and PyTorch. This setup ensures you have a fully equipped, isolated environment for experimenting and developing your machine learning projects without affecting your main system. Let's get started. Now, let's quickly revisit our Dockerfile setup from the previous video, where we created a start environment for machine learning with Python, scikit-learn, TensorFlow, and PyTorch. In this video, we will enhance the Dockerfile to include Jupyter and Pandas, essential tools for data analysis and visualization. We can do this by adding these packages to our requirements.txt. After updating requirements.txt, the Dockerfile's run pip install line will automatically handle the installation of Jupyter and Pandas, along with our other packages. To use Jupyter within our Docker environment, we need to make sure the notebook server can communicate with the outside world. We do this by exposing a port. Jupyter runs on port 8888 by default, so let's add that to our Dockerfile. Finally, we need to update our Dockerfile to launch Jupyter Notebook when the container starts. We'll modify the cmd command to start the notebook server, ensuring it listens on all network interfaces and doesn't try to open a browser inside the container. This setup will start the Jupyter Notebook server automatically when you run your Docker container, making it accessible from your browser at port 8888. With these updates, our Dockerfile is now fully equipped to handle data science and machine learning projects with Jupyter and Pandas directly from within a Docker container. First, we need to create our Docker image from the Dockerfile. This is done using the docker build command. This command builds an image named mlappv2 from the Dockerfile in the current directory. The tag option tags our image, making it easier to refer to it later. Once our image is built, we use the docker run command to start a new container from this image. This command maps port 8888 on the host to port 8888 in the container, which is necessary for accessing the Jupyter Notebook server from your host machine's browser. And that's it. You've built your Docker image and started a container where you can begin your data exploration and model building. To access Jupyter Notebook, copy the URL displayed in the console log after running the container, which includes a security token that is mandatory for logging into your Jupyter session securely. Now Jupyter has loaded in the browser, start by creating a new notebook. Click on New menu and select Notebook to create a new notebook. Here, we select Python 3 as the kernel to use the Python 3 environment. In the first cell, use print to display a greeting. Next, let's add a new cell. Click Insert Cell below. In this new cell, type, "This is a Markdown cell," to demonstrate using Markdown for text formatting. Now, add another cell for more Python code. In this third cell, type, "Print, it works." Now, we can click the Run button on the top to run all of cells. You'll see that "Hello World" is printed below the first cell, and "It works" appears below the third cell. This shows how Jupyter executes Python code. Finally, save your work by naming your notebook, "My First Notebook." This allows you to keep a record of your progress and revisit your work anytime. And that brings us to the end of our tutorial on setting up and using Jupyter Notebook within a Docker container. We started by enhancing our Dockerfile to include Jupyter for machine learning. Then, we built the image and launched our container. We also took a quick tour of Jupyter Notebook, creating a new notebook, running Python code, and experimenting with Markdown to document our process. Thank you for watching.
Stay tuned for more videos on TechInFive.